everybody, Lygerastic here. I'm entering Butterfliielilian's Who Inspires You contest. And my inspiration and pretty much my everything, she's been there my entire life, and everybody has one, but I think is very significant. She's a wonderful woman, and that would be my grandmother. That's my grandmother. And she was born November 26, 1918. She was 92 years old. She passed away July 17th, 2011. And she passed away because of breast cancer. She couldn't receive treatment because she was too old, and the doctors didn't believe that she would make it through. And you know, she lived a wonderful life. She did have a couple heart attacks, and every time she had a heart attack, she would be put in the hospital, and they would actually give her a expected death date. They would give her a day where they would say, hey, you have 21 days to live. And, you know, believing the doctors, all of her family would fly up to her, and we'd all gather in the hospital room to cram in to see her before this death date, and she always made it out of the hospital. We were beginning to think she was like, she always kicked it through, and she did such a wonderful job of taking care of herself. 92 years old, and she was still making brownies like 2 weeks before she died. She's a wonderful woman. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She was born in Stanford, West Virginia, but she resided in New Jersey until her death. She was a registered nurse for over 50 years. She attended Groucher College in Baltimore, Maryland. She received her registered nurse degree from Johns Hopkins University. She took many courses to support her nursing profession at the University of Pennsylvania as well, in Pittsburgh. During World War II, she served as a cadet nurse at Aspinwall, Pennsylvania. Her career took her to serve at the VA hospital in Ellesmere, Delaware. Visiting Nurses Association of South Jersey and Shady Lane Nursing Home in Clarksboro, New Jersey. She retired in 1992 after over 50 years of being an RN. She has 15 grandchildren. I'm gonna make sure I counted that correctly. She has 15 grandchildren, and she was the great-grandmother of 12. A little more about her personally. She has 5 children, and her husband ended up leaving her when they were younger, divorcing her and leaving all 5 children. They had 3 natural-born children, 2 adoptive children, and he ended up leaving her, long story short, and all of the children were under high school age. They were all still in high school, as far as I know, and he just never came back, pretty much, and he was just not a great guy. He didn't treat her well, and it's just a good thing that he wasn't in the picture anymore. I never met my grandfather, because he wanted us around him because they were worried for our safety, I suppose. And she was a wonderful woman. She she was always there. Whenever I wanted somebody to talk to, she was always there for me to talk to. She would send out my birthday card a week before my birthday because she hated things being late. She hated things being late. And she was my biggest inspiration. I wrote about her in my 6th grade book. We had a journal entry in 6th grade in my language arts class, and it was who inspires you the most, just like the contest says. And I wrote about her, and I said the same things. But back then, I didn't know that she was going to pass away so soon. I didn't grasp the concept of how old she was getting and how her health was declining. And, you know, I regret to this day how I haven't seen her in 5 years. I moved about 7 states away, and the economy has just not allowed her. And that kills me that I haven't seen her in so long, because now I realize I won't see her anymore. She's now buried in a cemetery with a whole bunch of World War I and World War II veterans. She wanted to be buried next to her brother because he was a World War II veteran as well, and they were very close. She was the 6th of 9 children in her family. All of them died right before her eyes. She was the last one living, and she frequently told us how she wanted to be back with her family. She missed her family so much. Not that she didn't love us, but she loved them. That was her family. She grew up with them. She was such a wonderful woman. She really was. And to this day, I'm thankful for everything she's ever done for me. It's hard to realize that she's gone. And when I do these videos and I talk about her, I keep my head up and I smile as much as I possibly can, to avoid completely breaking down. The first number that I ever put in my phone book, in my elementary school phone book, was my grandmother. And her number was the first number I ever learned. There's actually a joke, because she was a very funny lady. The moment that she died on home hospice. She was at home, and they had the hospital bed and all of her gear at her house in her bedroom with her, so that she didn't have to die in a hospital. And the moment she died, my aunt went to make a phone call and called like all the family members and tell them that she had passed away, and the phone line went down. The phone line had never gone down for the 12 years that she had that house phone. And that phone line went down the moment she passed away. And to me, that says something. You know, she knew that she was going to pass away. We all knew, but I guess we just didn't want to accept it. But now, you know, as much as I love her, I miss her more than anything in the entire world. I'm so thankful that she's up there with her family, because that's the one thing she wanted more than anything else, is she wanted to be back with her family. That's who she wanted to be with. That's who she wanted to, you know, see, because she missed them. She hadn't seen them in years. So I hope everybody enjoyed my video, and I hope you enjoyed the story about my grandmother. And she's just a very wonderful lady. Everybody who ever met her or knew her knew just how great she was, and I'll never forget her. Never ever. She's such a great lady, and she's left such a big imprint on my heart. So if you'd like to share your stories, you can put them in the comment box below. please, no hate comments, no hateful things, no bad comments, no dislikes. Please, please respect my wishes. But this, like I said, is the person who inspires me most for Butterfliielilian's contest. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Thanks for listening to my story, and I'll talk to you all later.